Hello sorted friends. So last video we worked on some hand play. Transitioning from Finestra through bicorno to Finestra, moving the right hand, moving the left hand, moving the right hand. And eventually talked about the center of balance and what that looks like as we transition straight between Finestra. Today we're going to learn what maybe that means tactically. Potentially, this is experimental. So today we're going to take Fiore's footwork, and we'll take a neutral stance to start with, and we're going to bias to one side. 60-70% of the weight on this side, the rest on this side. And then we're going to shift our hips, bias to this side. 60-70% of the weight this side, the rest that side. Do this back and forth. You'll see there's a little bit of a turn on the balls of the feet. Shoes are grabbing a little bit, so I'm having to over-exaggerate just a little bit. Fiore calls this a volta stabile. I'm shifting my body weight, I'm turning my mass, but I'm not lifting my feet to do it, ideally. So what does that mean? Well, we take that footwork and we assume Finestra. Let's start Finestra on the left, Finestra Sinestra. We're going to lean into it just a little bit. The direction my hands are pointed is the direction I'm going to bias my weight. Here. So I can shift my weight back and forth, rotating my hips, moving my center of mass. As I do so, we're going to use that Finestra, rotating the right hand around the sword, around the hilt, keeping the blade here. Do it at the same time you do the volta stabile. Now, if this was an opponent with his sword, on this side of my blade, as I rotate through, it stays on this side of the blade, and vice versa. I don't have to rotate the blade. I can maintain contact, keep pressure on an opponent's sword. Here, 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 here. Now typically, a Fiorist will take Finestra. It's going to look some variation of this. Whereas if you are my opponent on the center line, I'm going to keep my point on you. And you can see I did that rotation of the sword there. Even so, I'm going to keep that center line, that point on you, or there's another axis of the rotation of the sword somewhere out in this area. And you can find it, and there should be other videos detailing it. You can keep there. This is something proposed by Northwest Fencing Academy in a couple of their older videos on Finestra. And that allows me to keep that axis of rotation in your face. But here we're going to do something different. This is the center line. Let me back up just a little bit. So this is our center line. We're on it. So I'm doing something different here. I'm across the center line, biasing my weight. Not the typical pose. Here, 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 here. The strong of my sword, the strong of my sword, the strong of my sword, the strong of my sword. Now, what is that good for? You've got to set up some props, but I'll see you next video.